It's Issuenight.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. If you're Irish, whoa ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, yo. Careful, we're gonna get taken off of YouTube if we do that for too long.
Jay, that's you. Jay.
And Jay. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Issuenight. If you've never seen this show before, we talk about these seriously important, the latest issues of the day, frankly, issues you don't really read about or see out there. I know people have been waiting. Do we have the chat going, Mike?
Oh, no.
Not?
It
we're on something called YouTube, and you're supposed to ring a bell, and it's not like us. What are they supposed to do? Subscribe?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Okay, thank you.
Follow.
Like, comment, subscribe?
Comment
Okay.
on the YouTube video.
Okay.
Follow you home.
What?
They follow the creators home.
Wow.
Really?
If you subscribe, then you get everybody's
address?
address, and they get to follow you home if they want to.
Didn't know that. We'll have to look into that. Okay.
Start chatting. Start typing things in the chat. What random things so we know that somebody's listening.
Okay.
'Cause I see just Tony there.
If you're having a watch party, let us know how many people are watching so we can get proper metrics to the producers.
It's a big word.
Metrics.
Metrics.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. All right, we're losing people. Why don't we get on to our first set of issues that we like to call...
What do we call it?
It's our electric vehicle update. You know, we got on the show. We also inform people of what's going on, and now we have... we've been talking about the electric vehicles, amenities in there, their features, drawbacks, things like that. Tony, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, well, just kind of to review, last week we were talking about some of the amenities, like you mentioned, the glove box acts as a toaster oven, the seatbelt acts as a defibrillator. You can get the quick charging, through lightning going through the antenna.
But if you use these, right, Tony, you got to pull over because like it can't drive and use the battery. Like using a lot of the battery on the toaster oven, especially if you put pizza in there, you got to turn that up to like 400. And then you got to put it on the toaster setting. You're going to have to pull your car over for that,
Yeah, I mean, with great amenities come great responsibilities, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Lincoln said that.
Yeah, some of the drawbacks that can occur with with all these amenities and electric cars and stuff. So, for example, mistakes happen, and you pull up to the gas pump or the electric pump, and what happens if you plug the wrong charger in?
The car goes off.
If you put the regular charger in, you get electrons. But if you plug in the positron one,
get neutrons.
You get positrons instead, and bad things can happen. Of course, the car that runs on electrons suddenly has positrons.
The Transformers run on positrons.
They ran on positrons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Tony, move your mic down because it's a popping. People,
pop.
yeah, that's better. Thank you.
So I mean, that's probably. I was wondering what the positron pump was for. So it's probably for the transformers. But if you plug a regular electric car into it, it's going to, positron your car. Mm-hmm. And instead of electrons, which run this way, you got positrons, which are going to run the other way.
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they just go straight through? Isn't it faster? Just instead of going circle, why don't you just go straight?
Well, whichever way the motor is, it'll go.
I see.
Yeah.
Tony, I wasn't paying attention. So, what do I have to worry about when I plug in the car? Do I got to wear gloves or something like that, or rubber gloves?
Yeah, but if you use positrons instead of electrons, and you put your car in drive, what's going to happen?
Goes backwards.
Let's go back. Thank you, Jake. Yes, It's going to go backwards.
Good student.
Turn up the guest. Or the guest can do what I said. And
okay, I can turn up.
You
got it.
There you go.
Talking the mic.
That's good.
So that's a drawback, and so we'll have to put warning signs up maybe.
Can you lower your mic? You're popping. Tony.
More
Lower. Yeah. Now, don't worry. I'm working now. I'll make sure your wife hears you.
All right. We need warning signs for these things now. What else, Tony?
Well, so I mean that's a drawback that we've got to be careful of, right? I mean, if you buy one of these things, the other problem is, static. Mm-hmm. Like it makes your hair frizzy.
Yeah.
Which could be, if that's what you want.
If you want to hang up balloons on the wall.
Right.
If you're a clown and you have balloons in your car often, you have to take that into consideration. If you got protein going around all over,
Proton.
Yep. And then, of course, if you've got electricity running through anything, it's going to magnetize it.
Really? Like
Okay.
Like your body is magnetized if you're on stuff?
Well, you're not so much your body because there's not much metal in it, but like if you get too
Speak for
close,
yourself.
We got iron.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I got iron.
Yeah,
Okay,
iron
wait a
wires.
minute. So is the electric car now producing static electricity so we don't have to use our hair? Is that are you saying this is a feature of the car? Because I hate using my hair for that because you'll shock yourself a lot of times, and my doctor said that's not a good idea. So I had to stop. So can I use the car for this, Tony?
Oh, so for you it's an advantage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For other people, not
Yeah,
so much.
shock therapy. It's beneficial to you, Jay.
Could you tell me a little bit more about the features from the cars that we were talking about last week?
Yeah, what are some of the features?
For anybody who missed?
Well, like if you've got a makeup mirror, you'll flip it open and it'll give you a tan. So you got the tanning aspect of it.
What about a car that was open? What about if the hood was open and you could cook eggs on your transmission or something like that?
You can. They're very oily.
Oh, that's allowed already?
It's oily, yeah.
You don't even have to buy olive oil?
It's just
It's
motor oil.
Oh. Is that good to eat?
Well,
No.
if you put
No.
olive oil in the car, then you could use it for cooking too.
True.
So
Because my car does leak a lot of oil, so it would just seep out.
yeah,
That's how those Fiat vehicles, right? And Alfa Romeo, the Italian ones, they
Right.
run on olive
They run
oil,
on
right?
olive oil, yeah. It's healthy. Yeah, it's very healthy.
Mediterranean diet for cars, kind of thing.
Well, we are starting to see some issues, especially with the hybrid cars. They've kind of got a split personality, and the electric car side and the gasoline car side, it's kind of like having two personalities, and the electric side is jealous because it doesn't make engine noises.
It feels jealous,
Talk
maybe
amongst
like it's starting to become obsolete, kind of thing.
Well, the gas engine makes noises. The electric one is just
Right. You know, in the early model of the Priuses, they actually had to add engine noise because people couldn't even hear the cars coming up behind them across on the street. So they had to add noise because the Priuses were so quiet. Or maybe it was the Teslas, but they were so quiet.
That's what they tell people, but realistically, the electric engines were jealous.
Yeah.
Of the,
Maybe we should offer some sort of therapy or support to these cars.
what kind of therapy would we give a car?
Just like someone to sit down and talk to. That's all we need sometimes.
We all saw the documentary Carrie. I mean, this thing just was jealous. It was reaching out for help. No one helped that car, and we all know what happened.
What happened, Jay?
In that movie, in the documentary Carrie, the car went nuts. And you're right. If cars don't get help, then we have Carries on our right? Carrie? Is it Carrie?
That was
Drew Carey?
scary. Wasn't it scary?
Well,
documentary?
that's what happened.
Not scary.
Scary, Carrie. Just lift up your arms, Jay, like that. Yeah.
Sorry to everybody who's now deaf because they had to hear that.
All right. So my problem with the hybrids is, see, I have a plug-in hybrid, and what I can't stand is I can't attach enough extension cords, so I'm only able to go like half the mile down the road to Dollar General, and then sometimes I got to pull in a spot that's closest to my house, or the cord comes out, and then I got to take the cord and plug it in. A new cord and plug it into the Dollar General, and I'll go in there, and then I got to go back home and just hope the cord is long enough so I can make it home, and then I got to reel up that cord because it's in the road, and then reel up my old cord.
You know you're supposed to leave
while
them.
you're driving. Or
You're supposed to leave them.
No, I can't because it's got to be plugged in. You can't reel it up, Tony. It's a plug-in hybrid, so you can't.
You're supposed to plug the car in and then leave it. You don't drive the car once it's plugged in. You leave the car.
Well, how does the car go? I mean, I have to
The car
plug it
goes.
in.
We'll tell
Exactly.
you. Oh, you have a different one.
goes. Yeah, he actually has a kid out the side that kind of cranks as he's driving.
Oh,
you
like
have
a
a kid
hose
specifically
reel.
for that.
What? Well, you had a kid specifically. Yeah,
good
kids
for you.
specifically for that. Yes.
Can we call some attention to the chat here? There's
yeah,
some
please
points
do.
here.
Go on, you do.
Going back to the therapy, somebody said, "My car is my therapist," and it's a good point. Cars hear a lot. There's a lot of crying that happens in cars. There's a lot of mental breakdowns that happens in cars, and the cars have to take all of that and they have to compartmentalize it somehow. But not all cars are good at compartmentalizing.
Are they listening? I mean, I know they're listening to our phones. Are they listening? Are our cars? The
Maybe-
car is live.
Yeah, maybe it's like a future car.
I mean, I've called my car stupid a number of times.
I mean, people get angry in
yeah,
cars.
yeah.
I'm kind of starting to feel bad for the cars. I think we do
Yeah.
need to think about car therapy more.
Wow.
I don't know what exactly that would look like.
So Emily says she rents her car out. Can I use your car? So she rents a car out for $300 an hour. And I mean, so if we're talking here about car abuse, should we be asking should there be permission here?
Does PT stand for personal therapist?
Post-traumatic.
Oh, I thought it was personal therapist in this case.
Or physical therapists?
Yeah, but
So
we're not talking about physical. We're
people-
talking about mental.
Too.
Cars are
People.
people too.
Yeah.
People are people too. Most people.
Well said.
Speaking of people and cars,
Hmm.
yeah, I have a concern, an issue that I'd like to bring up, if I may.
Sure.
Kind of
I
out of time we'd want to move on, but okay, go ahead, Jake.
That's what I'm-
good.
think we can move on to another topic about. It's been close to my heart. I've been thinking about recently, kind of in the vein of feeling bad for cars. What's that?
That's your heart.
Oh, that's my phone.
Showing you where your heart is.
Yep. Thank you.
in the middle.
It's kind of more there.
Middle right.
Yeah.
I am worried that we are going to develop to a point where the cars or the chargers are going to become sentient and actually start to plug into our brain. They're going to wake up and start plugging into our brain, or maybe even turn on our cars.
Oh.
We're going to have to plug into our brain, and the car and the human is going to kind of form one
Right.
consciousness.
Symbiotic.
Yeah, symbiotic
Yeah.
culture. And I'm just worried about what kind of things my car might know about me and what it's going to do with
We
that
actually
information.
have a diagram of the most recent. What do we call it? Yeah, that's the
it's already
current
happening.
interface that is being utilized by many vehicles.
It's a real picture?
It's a
So-
real picture, and it's a really
Is that like a light wave or is that an actual cord?
Those are the cords.
well?
Yeah, but is that fluid?
Actually-
That looks like, is that windshield wiper fluid? Because her eyes, it looks like it leaked into her retinas, right? I
right.
mean, and Tony, you got to protect her. You can't just have windshield wiper fluid in the inside of your retina.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's organic or
Right.
been treated a certain way to make it interface with the car and the human brain.
James, there's multiple. You see, there's three tubulars. I think they call tubulars, right?
yeah, that's the
Going
block.
there. Yes, and one of them is like the information that's traveling between the two.
Yeah.
Another one is like chocolate milk. Like if you're thirsty, chocolate milk go to your brain.
Well, that's probably Gatorade. Fuck, that's not chocolate milk.
Like
Sure.
freeze flavor.
It's, the color's, I mean, it's color too. It's not really like. I know you're thinking, hey, it's like Windex or something.
But she can't even taste that because her eye, it's going to her eyes. I mean, you can't taste it with your eyes.
Oh, it goes to your brain.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what
very
the third tube is. I don't know what that
I
is.
think that's the
My-
ground.
my
The
brain
ground,
cell.
the ground, yeah.
But aren't you driving, Tony? So there's really no crash when you're driving.
You got the positive and negative and the
Ground.
neutral.
But you put cars on. I mean, it's tires. You're not really grounded, right?
Well, I mean, depends what the tires are made of.
Rubber.
Hold on, I need to just interject. Like, Pearly Boy, listen, you need these words when you want to communicate. You got like some diagrams. There's a bunch of cars. Can't really read that. Then I think you have like either TV sets or pumpkins with a baby bottle. Not quite sure where we're trying to communicate. We're just ask you to use words, letters that form sounds.
I think he's trying to communicate with his car.
You know, I mean, people do use emoji, to communicate. And I know some other people watching, that's what they need, Jay. I mean, they're not able to communicate with words. So, like showing 20 cards. Actually, I don't know.
How am I going to communicate with him? I'm not. I can't draw
Sign
things,
language,
and I don't have
or-
the
You don't
stickers.
speak emoji.
I brought stickers with me. I don't stickers like I can't. I don't have enough stickers to tell him.
Well, use the stickers you have. I'm
Do your
sure,
best.
I'm sure he'll figure it out.
We could.
He's a smart Pearl.
So you guys are not worried at all about the car stealing our conscious, our brain or anything?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I didn't seem as much worry, but
Well, I mean, why are you worried about that?
well, because I don't want my car knowing my deeper.
Why not?
Yeah, but you get that free like Gatorade Frost, whatever that flavor is.
That's
I mean that. So I don't.
I mean, it's not
don't
like
know.
that Matrix.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
still be hydrated. Maybe
I
you're
kind of
right.
get it though. Like, what if I'm thinking, oh, it's really time to trade this car in?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my father had a car once, and my friend kind of made fun of it on the way to the plaza. And we got to the plaza and went to leave, the car wouldn't start.
Right.
Now, so you usually keep that stuff inside.
You were
Right?
hooked up back then, Tony.
Oh, my father's driving
Okay.
his thing.
Yeah,
Was he
submarine.
hooked up though? I mean,
No,
how
my,
did I
my,
know that?
my
have
friend said it out loud.
Oh,
Right. You're on your way to trade in your car,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the car knows that, and it starts going in different directions, and next thing you know, you're back home.
Takes
or,
you by the ice
yeah,
cream
in
store,
another
and you
state.
get distracted.
Takes
and
you
like,
like 3-year-old childhood.
you're
all your
eating ice
memories
cream and
together. Yeah.
driving the car home.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just worried about car technology, car power, how powerful they'll be.
fair enough.
Worries me.
I'm worried about how powerful you'll be.
Yeah, me too.
If you just joined us, you're watching Issuenight, where we talk about important, serious issues today. Why don't we get into our next set of issues that we like to call
I don't know. What do we call
these? We call them
OSHA issues.
OSHA.
Periodically, we update you on what new proposals OSHA Office of Safety Hanging Administration has. What are we talking about today?
So there is a new piece of legislation. It's Fairytale Characters Are People to Act. FICPOO, I think is how you FICPOO.
Yeah,
Is
that's
acronym.
easy.
Yeah, the T is silent, so FICPOO.
Okay.
It provides new responsibilities to OSHA to regulate and keep safe our fairy tale friends. So now they got jurisdiction on, Humpty Dumpty and the Three Pigs and stuff like that.
Okay. So I'm thinking of something right away. So I know they're trying to include fairy tales like, hey, you're in the movies, and like Cinderella, for instance. They come up with Cinderella, and no one's interested anymore. Kids are playing video games. They're not really interested. Like, girls want to be engineers now. They don't want to be like Cinderella. So now she's taken to the ice. They're like, oh, we'll put Cinderella in the ice, and that. And here's the thing: she keeps losing her skate. Skate keeps falling off. One of them, she's trying to do the things, it keeps falling off, and they're just saying, hey, look, she's just learning, give her some grace, she's just learning how to tie a skate. But we all know, there's 34 loops. It's really hard to mess this up. So, my thing is, I don't want to say it about all fairy tale characters, but they're really not proportional to what they should be. Her foot is probably 3 inches, if that, across, and it just doesn't fit in skates. We need to stop trying to find places for that she doesn't belong, like the ice.
So that has nothing to do with this topic at all.
I didn't know where that was going, Jay.
Yeah. So OSHA's going to regulate these fairy tales. So, for example, what happens to Humpty Dumpty?
Well, it falls.
He falls. So that falls, no pun intended, under OSHA's jurisdiction.
No, there's no safety rail and stuff like that around.
Well, that's a problem. There needs to be a personal fall arrest system, the harness and the lanyard and all that kind of stuff, to prevent him from falling. And regular kind of personal fall arrest systems don't work on eggs. So we're going to have to design something that's specially egg-shaped. So all the engineering schools are, having harness training.
Oh, so it's an egg harness. I've seen
harness.
these.
You have.
Well, I made them. You can take the palm sundae, make the palms, and make the egg holder.
Right. Yes. That's one thing they're testing is the what do they make that out of? The
palms.
Palms. Yeah.
How is he even allowed to go on a wall in the first place?
Do you think they would go as far to not even let him on the wall?
Well, that would solve the problem. That would be the preferred
Maybe
method.
the wall isn't for eggs. Maybe it's for human people only.
You really don't want to put eggs high up on things.
No.
That's my kids. Yeah.
Yeah. If you eliminate the hazard, you've really done the best thing you can.
Like if you just decide never to go outside, just sit at home.
That's a fair point.
Don't do anything. Don't move.
You can never get hit by a bus if you're inside.
That's true.
But you have that risk, that quote from Teddy Roosevelt, right? Those who play it safe and they know neither defeat or victory because they just play safe. So that's what we're teaching these eggs here by saying you can't go up on walls. We're not going to allow you to take risk in your life. And these eggs, become what they always are. They're just eggs that just sit around and they're not productive or anything like that.
If you do not decide, you still made a choice.
I'd like to pause real quick to the eggs, because you're right, that was not even short-sighted of me to just say that they can't go on the wall. You're right, you guys are right. I was thinking, you guys ever remember in shop class in school, you put the eggs on the car, on the car, and
we
then
did.
put it down the ramp.
Yeah,
They did the shop class teacher an egg. They had to build a car around the egg and then put down a ramp into a wall, and if your egg survived, then one shop class. Is that impossible? Yeah, I went on 2-3 times, and I got a little hairline fracture. I remember it actually. It was traumatizing for me, but I'm thinking that this might be usable here, where you build a track on the top of the wall, you put the egg on. I could give you my shop class phone number if something you want to look into.
Okay.
You were in charge of that, right? The egg wall safety rules.
Yeah, he's a OSHA guy.
It was a foam. We scooped that little foam piece and we put it on the car. It's like 2 blocks of wood with wheels on it, and we just scooped out a little bit of foam. We put the egg in there. We strapped them down.
So some padding. Yeah, you could use muffins, I think, for that as well. So.
All right, so Emily says Humpty Dumpty is living in quarantine still. What's going on with this? And we need to stay away from him. Why is he in quarantine?
Well, he was definitely injured that first time. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put them back together. So they must not have had a readily accessible first aid kit. So that's another OSHA violation. And, the recovery from that's probably pretty long.
And isn't the COVID problem, isn't the membrane of the egg actually porous?
So stuff could pass through.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be infectious.
Maybe the egg should wear a HEPA filter.
Or a mask.
Or a HEPA mask. HEPA mask filter.
All right, do we have another fairy tale character we need to be concerned about?
Well, yeah. I mean, think of the three pigs. They, they built those houses, and then the wolf came and blew them all down.
Why don't the other two have pants? The middle one, at least was wearing the overalls. Why is the other two? Why? Is there decency laws? Is this allowed?
They're animals, Jay. In fact, they shouldn't even be wearing clothes. It's just, I think it's just for dramatic effect, really. I don't think it's an issue. I mean, I have a greater issue with their choice of clothing.
Who gave them clothes?
Like that
so
tie,
who is
it's
feeding
purple.
them? Is this to people like, hey, these animals are cold, or they're not stylish? They need clothes. They need hats and bow ties and sailor hats and. No,
I don't know who it is, but again, I'm having a problem with the yellow tie with the black and the purple and the blue. Who's it? Their fashion designer.
Well, from an OSHA standpoint, we really don't care what it looks like. We're more concerned with, is the personal protective equipment effective?
But maybe you should be in charge of. Maybe you should be concerned about that, Tony. How they look.
Well, maybe if they gave them, hard hats, for example, which would protect them in colors that they like, they might be wearing them. Okay. So I think I saw, some hard hats off in the corner. So maybe they're like, oh, we don't want to wear the pink or the gray ones. We're going to wait for the yellow or the blue ones that match our outfits. So, I think that would be wise to take into consideration likes and dislikes of any given pig.
Jake, before the show, you're talking about Tinkerbell and her dust.
What's the name of the green fairy tale?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Shrek? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
No.
The one with that drops the fairy dust? Shrek?
Peter Pan?
There's a girl with the wings that lights like the Disney castle. Like she
Shrek.
goes up there.
Princess Shrek?
That's Shrek.
She's Shrek, yeah.
Shrek. Or maybe it was Tinkerbell that I was talking about. Now that I think about it. Tinkerbell, beautiful thing kind of floating around, lighting fires, whatever you said, in the intro. But if you notice, she's always dropping all this little fairy dust behind her everywhere she goes. She's fluttering her wings and fairy dust. I'm worried about the fairy dust personally. I think that's an opportunity for OSHA to kind of step in because we're breathing that in. It's getting into our waterways. Even a bird filter can't get all your fairy dust out.
Yeah,
but I think that's an opportunity for OSHA to kind of step in.
That is a problem because I don't think they have a permissible exposure limit for fairy dust right now. They might have to come up with one. I think some of the other organizations, World Health Organization and those people, World Health Organization, have some recommended levels. So if the World Health Organization's got a recommendation, then maybe we should go with that.
We can follow that's their standard.
Yeah.
I think. There she is.
Yeah.
We're breathing that all in.
Right.
I'm worried about breathing her in.
You could, Mike, if you inhale her, though, you get an emergency center right away. For special CPR.
You only have 5 7 minutes.
Yeah. Is she like, what species is she? Is she like those wings, like what's the fly, Jay? The fly, the fly.
Flies like an insect, so you're saying is she an insect?
Well, no, the wings. Aren't they some sort of fly? What's the fly? Horsefly?
Oh.
Horsefly.
Horsefly.
So she's probably part of the horsefly family, so
She must be.
Maybe somebody in the comments could comment if they know.
The thing is, that means she'll bite, because those hurt.
I don't see a stinger.
And no one wants to get bit by this thing. And then you slap her. Like, can you even allowed to do that?
Why
Like,
don't
you're
you
just trying to.
I don't think so.
You're trying to get her off, like, because she's biting your
She's not biting.
arm.
She's just flying around.
But if she's part of the horsefly family, she's going to bite. Like, that's what they do.
I think
been
it's
bitten
rude
by a
of you to
horsefly?
assume that about her.
You haven't been bitten by a horsefly?
No, they buzz around, but
Wow.
I guess I'd be more concerned with what is in the fairy dust. And if it's new technology, is it like nanotechnology fairy dust? Because regular fairy dust might not be hazardous, but nano dust might be. Same material, different
Is
size.
that what Buffalo Lifesaver is saying? Is she saying nano fairies? I can't see the dumb heart. Is there?
If I click it,
Nano,
what
yeah.
happens?
Nano
Yeah.
fairies.
Nano fairies.
It's possible
I
that
think those are stars, actually. I think it's actually what makes up the universe is what, it's like they're actually stars that are in fairy dust, like real stars.
Like really
So she's
small.
making, like,
I don't know. Either that, Mike, or they're very sharp that's very sharp,
Sharp
like
glass.
accident dust, like shrapnel she's leaving behind.
Oh wow.
He's always
You know,
assuming the worst about Tinkerbell.
Well,
But no,
I'm not
but-
saying that. I mean, we do have communists running around. I'm not saying anything. Just saying
So she's like
there's sharp
a
things.
black ops fairy type of thing.
Could be. I mean, I don't personally like sharp fairy dust. Maybe you do, but I don't personally
No, not
like
usually
that.
in my lungs, but
Well. All right, if you just joined us watching tonight, talk about important, serious issues of the day. Once I get a cursor, I'll get on to the next issue that we like to call animal slander.
One of my favorite actors.
Um,
Adam Sandler, sorry.
yeah, same thing.
I like
Tony, I mean, how do animals get slandered? What are we talking about?
Well, you don't even realize it, I think, but there's certain phrases and terminologies out there that get thrown around. And, you might hear, they say, fat as a pig. And the pigs are
doesn't hurt you, Jay.
I'm not a pig, but
You eat
So-
like one.
kind of. So maybe it should. Maybe that should have me. And maybe if I do look, I probably am. So the pigs are getting offended. What are they doing about it?
Well, I mean, there's lawsuit. They're pushing for legislation, anti-slander legislation. They're trying to, pigs are people too amendment kind of stuff. And
yeah, because they look like us.
They have eyes and nose and ears too. Things I don't know what
And
inside they have different. I don't
feelings.
know. They have feelings.
Emotions.
I don't know if they have emotions.
Pigs are the animal they know. Pigs want animals to feel fear. That's true. That's a true fact. Yeah, for the slaughter pig, they have to calm them down first, unlike a cow or a chicken or whatever.
Why are you
They
telling
gotta
them?
calm
Why are you telling them that you're going to?
Because they sense it. They see the.
Can't you just?
how to-
It's not what happened to their brothers and sisters.
40
And
times for them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But can't you when you take them somewhere? Do you have have a? I'm like, what are you doing beforehand? At least sense. I mean, you take a knife out. Clearly, let's just. Is there something better way of doing
You
it?
can put the room full of sort of gas or something that calms out.
You might knock you out.
Well, you could do it in a controlled environment or sing them a lullaby or something first.
Yeah.
I
Or
never
wear,
really- I never know
respirator.
You can or put the
CBA.
the pig respirator.
The respirator,
Slaughter.
different respirator.
Maybe that would be more comfortable. Maybe
We'll
the pig
put,
would.
one a respirator on you that works and one on them that doesn't.
So
Wow, yeah.
because I'm eating so much and I'm getting fat, what do I now have to say? Like help me out, coach me here.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So just hey folks, I'm being tubby. I'm sorry. So I can't use an analogy. Like people are like, I don't know what you mean. I don't like fat tubby is what? Like what? Like people are out there like right now they want to know like how fat are you getting?
Or you could say
And
it's not
how
in my
fat is
purview,
it?
Jay. Just say it's not in my purview.
I'm not really giving them though the information they need, Mike. They need an image here. They need something in their mind, and I just
I think that's helpful.
Jay's gaining a lot of weight and looks rather large.
Yeah, but like how large, right, Tony? I mean, you got to answer it by how. I mean, is
There
there another
must-
animal I can use, or or am I like, what am I going to say?
There must be some misunderstanding. I don't know.
What if you came up with some sort of inanimate,
Oh,
like fat as a fig?
fat as a
Figs are fat.
Figs are fat.
Okay, so some type of fruit or inanimate.
Yeah.
Is that what
something
you're saying?
They're still
emotionless.
alive though, right? Figs are still alive.
I don't know. Once you take them off the tree, I don't think they're alive anymore.
Okay,
But I don't know. I'm not a fig expert.
so you could say it's
Fat as a dead fig.
What are we
Yeah.
What are we trying
Fat
to
as a
say
dead
again? I'm not
pig.
sure. What are we trying to say?
we're trying
Fat-
not
how
to
about-
offend the animal.
Oh,
Mike.
How about fat as a rock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the rock can't say anything unless they cry out and praise Jesus. Like that's what the Bible says.
That's
Like
right,
they
true.
could do that. Like everyone thinks, oh, that rock's never going to say it, but at any time it could cry out and praise Jesus.
Right.
So-
There's honey in the rock, too.
What?
There's honey in the rock,
Who told you that?
And
Your
they're in
grandma
the
told you
water
that or
too.
something?
Then they
Like,
break
Yeah.
Moses or someone broke
which could be a
rocks.
problem for the rocks if they have
Wait.
living
they're in the Bible. It says there's honey in the rocks.
and
Really?
manna on the ground.
Really?
Yeah. Look
In
it
the
up.
rocks? So if I start
it up,
cracking
no.
rocks, there might be honey in there?
You just have to find the right rock,
Really?
like a rock-sized boulder.
Yeah.
Have honey in it or something like that.
Wow. You have to heat it up before you.
Loose it up first. I'm just saying. I think if the rock is full of honey, it might be up to the rock culture too.
Okay.
So that is big.
That is
Okay, can we make that unofficial?
Well, Buffalo Lifesavers are saying the fruit board isn't going to like that. I guess it's the TFB.
Yeah.
And the fruit board's powerful. You don't want to mess with them. I didn't.
Now, if we change that, we're gonna have to change the other ones too, though. I mean, we got sly as a fox, lazy as a sloth,
Isn't that a compliment?
slow as a turtle. Oh yeah, that's true.
Unless the fox are like, we're really not that bright. Like, please stop saying that.
Well, they probably don't want. They probably think they're slyer than us. So if I say you're sly as a fox, they're offended because you're really not.
Big as a box. Tall's attack.
That's helpful, Mike. Well,
But how it's a sloth? I mean, he doesn't want to be thought of as
what
lazy.
do they say is a sloth?
Lazy as a sloth.
Lazy as
Well,
a
isn't that in the Bible? Slothfulness? Isn't that from the sloth? Isn't that why? Right, sloth is.
They're kind of slow, but they can't help that. You know,
They're just taking their time.
they're taking their time. I think they have some problems though, like their tendons aren't able to stretch, you know, like ours are, and that. Try that at home. All right. Any other animals that we need to, or phrases we need to worry about? And
The skunks always come up. You know, stinky's a skunk or smell like a skunk.
yeah,
I don't know. That's pretty nice to say about.
there's like skunk cabbage. You know,
But aren't we? Isn't that how you name things? I mean, we were growing up. If you're a shoemaker, you might be your last name might be Shoemaker, right? Or if you're a baker, your last name would be
So if you're skunky,
Cow.
you're skunky, you might be a skunk.
You're a garbage collector growing up. Your family
Yeah.
might be the Skunks. Maybe your last name.
or a sanitary
Okay.
guy.
Yeah,
Skunkwa.
or
Skunkwa.
rubbish.
It's like the French version.
And then you might be like dumb as an ox.
Who's Knox?
Dumb as
That's
an
an
ox.
animal. That's like a. Is it like a cow? But it's a boy cow, right?
Oxen.
Guy.
Wasn't St. Thomas dumb as an ox?
He's pretty smart.
Yeah.
St. Thomas Aquinas,
Yeah.
Summa Theologica.
Someone called him that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah, they
nice.
did because he was quiet in class, and he like people thought he was dumb, but he's brilliant. You know.
Okay. A lot of people are like that. A lot of kids are like that. All right. I know. If you just joined us watching Issuenight, these are important, serious issues. And I think we have one more to get to.
I don't think
Oh
so.
no, we don't. We're actually done.
No, that's it.
So yeah, sorry.
Good
So
job, Jay.
we just want to thank everyone who participated in the chat board, and don't forget to join us for our next show
Stay tuned.
on YouTube
For
called Issue
Bo.
All right. That was the first show.
Sure what?
Again, if you've just joined us, I don't know. That's not right thing to say. We take breaks. We do a show, record it. We're done.
If this is the
This
first time you've viewed a
It's the
taping.
first time you tape.
Grab your
so
favorite
we're
snack.
in between. That's stale from Christmas. That was your Christmas gift from
That was my
your
Christmas
godchild
gift
from
yeah.
Rowan.
Yeah.
This is kind of like our OSHA required break.
Yeah.
Required to pause for 2 minutes.
I am. So we're gonna do next show soon. You guys got ideas? Throw them on the table.
I'm excited about the next show because
What we got, Jay?
well, we're going to talk about the Fairytale Insurance. I guess there's a lot to say about that. We do have some stereotypes, kind of involving names. So I think we'll have some fun with that. And don't forget the song review. Song review going on.
What's first, Jay?
Huh?
What's first order?
First is Fairytale Insurance.
Yeah.
Or
This is
stereotypes.
Tony. It's your issue, Tony. Right? Okay.
Yeah, we got more feedback from that act that fairy tale characters are people to act.
Oh yeah. Right.
Pick poo.
Thick boo.
Fair enough.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let me get to the light chat. Here we go.